interned with us. Right.
All right, so good morning and welcome to the Philadelphia Commission of Human Relations public session for December 17th, 2001. We can start the meeting with the approval of meeting minutes. Are there any corrections? Any corrections? Okay, no corrections noted. I move that we accept the minutes and that they are submitted into the record. Next, we'll move on to the cases that are recommended for closing. I'll take recusals after I read the cases. Where are my cases? Give me a second. All right, cases recommended for closing for the month of December are as follows. Under employment, we have N. Melville Jones versus City of Philadelphia, Benjamin Hill versus Extreme Extreme Connections, Eric L. Goodwin versus Lincoln Harris CSG, Kia M. Livingston versus Always Best Care Senior Services, Natalie Ray versus Jefferson Food Market, Teron Brown Sr. versus Temple University Health System Incorporated, doing business as Temple University Hospital, Rosemary Colomesta versus Temple University Hospital, Jessica Hill versus Comcast, Raven Kinley Davis versus Valley Youth House, Jacob Tolsky versus 160/90 doing business LLC, doing business as 160/90 and Endeavor Group Holdings Incorporated. Under public accommodations, we have Owen versus Netroots Nation, Margaret Austin versus Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, and that is it for the cases. Are there any recusals?
Yep, I'm recusing on employment 6 and 7.
Can I ask Pam or Karen, were any of the plaintiffs represented by Women's Law Project? Looks like Pam is shaking her head. No. Okay. No recusal.
So recuse on employment 6 and 7. Any others? Okay. The recusals have been noted. Can I have a motion to accept the cases? I see Commissioner Zulfikar making the motion. Can I have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Austin, for your second. All in favor? Thank you, everyone. Cases for the month of December have been accepted. And I would now turn the meeting over to Kia for the Executive Director report. Good morning, Kia.
Good morning, Shalimar, and good morning, everyone. Just a few updates for this reporting period. I'll start with legislative updates. And so as many of you may know, on January 1st, 2022, the city's law, which prohibits employers for testing prospective employees for the presence of marijuana, will go into effect. The law does remove discriminatory barriers to employment, particularly for those who use medical marijuana for treatment of a medical condition. PCHR will be the enforcement agency for this law, and we will be collaborating with the law department to produce comprehensive regulations to provide guidance to employers and the public, particularly as it relates to exemptions for safety-sensitive positions. We anticipate beginning that process in January of 2022. And in the meantime, we will be drafting some educational material and content for our website so that folks can become familiar with the law. Next update relates to the do not solicit homeowner protection law. That is the law that prohibits wholesale agents from contacting Philadelphia homeowners once they've indicated that they do not wish to be contacted or their name appears on the do not solicit list. Our agency has been tasked with housing that list and for enforcing the legislation that pertains to the list. So while the list is not publicly accessible on our website as of now, homeowners will be able to, by the by the beginning of January, they should be able to submit their request to be placed on the list by using a form that's available on our website, mailing that or emailing that to our office. They can also contact our office for the form so that we can add them to the list. We are also in the process of developing educational materials and website content to provide more information to the public about that. In terms of compliance, on December 3rd, myself and Deputy Director Pam Gwaltney met with leadership at the Philadelphia Reentry Coalition and the Regional Housing Legal Services to discuss emerging issues related to housing discrimination for folks with criminal backgrounds. We met with them to provide information about the various protections under the Renters Access Act and other ways that persons with criminal backgrounds can seek protection under our existing laws. On December 8th, Deputy Director Pam Gwaltney and Principal Attorney Karen Foreman collaborated with the city's Commerce Department and the Workforce Development Group to facilitate a training regarding criminal background records, regarding the Fair Criminal Records Screening Standards Ordinance, also known as Ban the Box. They presented information for employers who are seeking to refine their hiring practices as well as hire individuals with criminal records. On December 13th, myself and Pam Gwaltney also met with leadership at the Philadelphia Airport and the Marketplace team there to discuss the law pertaining to a ban on cashless retail and provide clarification regarding PCHR's enforcement posture as it relates to that law. In terms of prevention, on November 30th, Deputy Director Randy Duque, along with HR representatives Abigail Sue and Boone Mott, attended a student safety and Asian solidarity rally, which was held in Center City, Philadelphia. Randy and the community relations team were there to monitor the rally, to connect with the organizers, the police department, the school district officials, as well as others, community-based organizations. Abigail Sue is in the process of translating the speech that the Asian student who was actually the victim of the assault gave, so that persons who are non-English speaking in the Chinese community are able to access that speech. HR representatives David Oliver and Tiara Thompson conducted a Good Neighbors Guide training for community members in the southwest area of Philadelphia for the 18th Police District. Additionally, on December 3rd, Deputy Director Randy Duque spoke at a forum on public safety for international students at Temple University. On December 13th, Deputy Director Randy Duque also conducted a training in field safety to members of the Office of Community Engagement and the Community Resources Corps. In terms of other noteworthy conflict responses, our agency continues to work to ensure a comprehensive response to the assault against Asian students from Central High School that occurred on the SEPTA Broad Street subway line on November 17th. Myself and Deputy Director Randy Duque are collaborating with the Office of Immigrant Affairs as well as the Office of Public Engagement, to introduce comprehensive community-based strategies to address AAPI hate and to mend the tensions between the African American and AAPI communities. We have so far co-hosted 2 interactive community forums to address concerns regarding safety, race tensions, and community concerns about rising violence against AAPI community members that has happened over the last 2 years. HR Rep Boon Rat Mat has continued to work with the Cambodian Association of Philadelphia in response to a letter they received in the summer, over the summer, threatening harm against Cambodian residents in Mifflin Park. He recently presented an apology letter from the person who actually authored the hate letter, and we are continuing to maintain contact with the association and the residents to provide additional follow-up as necessary. HR Representative Carlos Aviles is working with community residents in the northeast section of Philadelphia to resolve an anti-trans neighbor dispute, and is also coordinating with the Office of LGBTQ Affairs, who also received a request for assistance from this resident. In other noteworthy events for this reporting period, on December 6th, I facilitated a training regarding the do not solicit homeowner protections and moderated a panel discussing emerging trends in unlawful and discriminatory real estate practices that target Philadelphia homeowners in gentrifying neighborhoods, typically Black and Latinx communities. On December 6th, I also met with Councilmember Gilmore Richardson to discuss her concerns about rising violence in the Southwest area of Philadelphia and ways that our agency can help with help on a local level to address the community tensions. On December 15th, this past Wednesday, myself and Deputy Director Randy Duque co-chaired a leadership strategy group, which included the Office of Public Engagement, the Office of Immigrant Affairs, the Office of Women Engagement, the Mayor's Office of Legislation, Town Watch Services, the Office of City Representative, and the Office of Communications, to focus on coordinating a comprehensive response to the increasing violence involving members of the AAPI community and heightened tensions across the city among the various different races that have been impacted by these last incidents. We discussed an action plan, which will include a multimedia and comprehensive campaign directed to communities affected, which includes messaging about how to affect youth behavior and bias. We will also be facilitating meetings with community members and community-based organizations to promote open dialogue across races here in Philadelphia. We are also suggesting ways to ensure that the curriculum within the school district addresses inclusivity and counters hate incidences and lack of inclusivity in the school district. The action plan also includes collaborating with the school district to ensure holistic, school-centered, youth-centered responses to addressing hate and bias. And then we will also be incorporating action steps to address safety on public transit and areas surrounding this different schools in Philadelphia. We will reconvene in the next upcoming weeks to discuss a timeline. We haven't created the timeline as of yet, but are hopeful that we will be able to produce a timeline to the public so that the residents are aware of what we are doing. In terms of updates related to hate incidents. We had 9 incidents of hate reported this month to the commission, and 6 of them were confirmed and 3 were unconfirmed. I will open it up to any questions regarding my report, and if there are none, then I will turn it over to Shalimar. All right, hearing no questions, I will turn the meeting back over to Shalimar.
Thank you. And so the public session for January will be held on January 14th, 2022. And the executive session will be held on January 21st, 2022. Can you believe we're talking about 2022?
No, this year is going by in the blink of an eye. And so I'm just hoping that everyone has a healthy and safe remainder of the year. Enjoy the time with your families and your loved ones, and cherish it.
Yeah. Thank you, Kia. And readers for the month of January are Commissioner Shaw, Commissioner Zulfikar, Commissioner Ricks, and myself. And with that, can I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Commissioner Albert. And a second? Thanks, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Commissioner Ricks. All in favor? Thank you. With that, the meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone have a fantastic holiday and New Year.
Yes, same. Everyone be safe. Take
Happy
care.
holidays to all.
Thanks, Sarah.